Hey everyone, and welcome back. This is the part 2, I guess, of the original video I did on this Ranger 2995DX CF. Just want to go through a few things with you today in this video, in the hopes that somebody out there, a technician or somebody that knows quite a bit about these Ranger radios, can give me some assistance and clarify some questions that I have. First of all, my main issue is right now, the only thing that I can see that is really technical to me is this power supply. I was told this power supply was replaced on warranty. It still has the seal here now for this new power supply. But when I power it on, let's see if I can scoot in here. I just want you to have pay close attention to the fan. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to power on now. Turn on the volume. There we are. And the fan is just not spinning. It doesn't even make an attempt to move. Now I left the radio on for quite some time, like a couple hours, and came back and the fan still is not moving. Now, that being said, when I feel the chassis of the power supply, it is just barely room temperature. It's not getting warm at all. I don't sense anything wrong with the power supply. In fact, it would appear that the power supply is staying cool enough that it would be like a power supply that was turned off, not even turned on, because you would think a power supply would, have some sort of heat being generated. That's question number one. Should this fan be coming on or not? It's not, but the radio is working fine and there's no heating issue. So that's question one out there for you technicians to help. Before I go any further, there are a couple of modifications that have been done to this radio, and as you can see in the back here, we have a talkback switch here. This small blue switch is the talkback, and this here switch here, I think it's a 6-leg switch here, with a little rheostat or a trimmer here. This turns on the amplifier and the power supply at the same time. Plugs into the back, the fans, I should say. Sorry about that. The cooling fans for the amplifier comes on with the amplifier. And that is working as it should. There is the talkback, as you can see, is tapped into this area of the board. And on the bottom of the board, there is an aftermarket resistor put in place on the line there. I don't have the bottom off now, but I don't think it's of any importance right now to look at. I also want to focus on this. This may not be an issue, but it looks like an issue to me. And as as some of you may know, this might be wrong, it could be right. But I want you to look at that coil. There's several coils in this area of the radio, and every one of them seems to be very, very normal, except this one right here. It looks like it was squat down and squished and spaced out. Get a closer shot there for you. My question to you, again, you technicians out there, is that normal? I don't know. Now, what else can I say? Power down. Let me zoom out. Excuse the jiggity video here. I'm trying to do this all from a tripod so it's a bit more stable. The radio's on right now. I'll turn it on. I'm on AM, but I'm on channel 38, but that's irrelevant. I just want you to listen to what happens when I power down. You'll notice that it powers down slowly, which is normal, I guess, because the power supply is bleeding out power. But this noise, is this normal? To hear this noise, it's not obnoxious, but it sounds different. And there's a beep also. Is that normal? That's the other question I have for you. I would really appreciate information on that. Now, I thought at one point that the PA was not working, but the problem was the jack for the speaker was bad. So I'm going to just turn on the mic here. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. So the PA is working. For those of you I was speaking to before, privately, PA is working. So That's one less thing we have to worry about. Now, with regard to radio power, I just want to discuss this with you, just for further clarification. And if you don't mind, please, post in the comments what you think. I know I'm asking several questions here today. With the amp off, just on radio power, AM is 6 watts on low, which would be the RF trimmer right here, the RF power. When it's on low, it's 6 watts, and when it's on high, it is about 9 watts. And sideband, 3 watts on low, 5 watts on high. Now, with the amp on, AM is 100 watts on low, 180 watts on high. That's just relative, or, within spec, whatever. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have the most diddliest power meter, but just to let you know. So it's 100 with the amp on low, and 180 watts on high. And on lower sideband is 80 watts on low, thereabouts, and 180 watts on high. The only other thing, and this is the most peculiar of it all, I guess, it seems that if I have the amp on and turned on low, just barely like on AM or sideband, modulation is great. No problem with modulation. Sounds wonderful. However, when I turn off the amp, the modulation from the radio itself drops considerably. So it's like I guess it sort of makes sense to me, but I'm not exactly sure, so I'm just looking for clarification on this. It seems like the modulation decreases with the amplification. So the more power it puts out, the better the modulation. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. But if I turn it down to just the radio itself, modulation is not so good. It's not performing well. So the radio itself is just like, modulation-wise. Now the signal, of course, is going to drop. We know. But why is modulation dropping? It doesn't quite make sense to me. So that is yet another question. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted with this radio. Everything seems to be working fine. I do have he also sent me, the stock mic that came with the radio, but he also, Kickstarter sent me a static desk mic. And it's working perfectly fine, except I need to have my lips on this or a couple inches away for it to work well. And if I back away 4 or 5 inches, it really drops the modulation on this. Now, of course, with the standard stock mic, you typically speak right into the condenser anyway, so that's normal to hold a handheld to your mouth, basically. So, I'm not going to get this video to run much more. I don't want to keep it too long, because there's absolutely no need for that if I've covered all the bases. So look forward to hearing back from you guys in the comments in this video, and hopefully you will set my mind at ease that this is all normal, and if not, I can proceed and try to rectify what issues may be with this radio. Thanks for watching.